Yo everybody, Pinstripe here, welcome to some Hogs of War. This is the single player campaign, 25 missions that we're going to be working through, kind of a new video series I'm going to be doing where I just talk about general strategies, tips and hints of different bits and pieces of the game, because it's something I've wanted to do for a while, but never really gotten around to. Now this is the PC version, which you can actually get on Steam, but there is one thing you should note before we start, that is, the AI don't actually move. 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 The AI don't actually.
Man, I was so naive back then, thinking that the PC version was something amazing, but I can't believe it's been 20 years since Hogs of War came out. Hogs of War is 20 years old. That is 5 years younger than I am. So if you want to see like a development video regarding the timeline of Hogs of War's production, there is a link to it somewhere on the screen right now or in the description. But either way, if you want to see the ins and outs of how things were in terms of the game's development, then do check that out. But this video isn't going to be anything fancy. It's just going to be me talking about some key points that I want to bring up regarding this big topic, including how Hogs of War is important to me, how it's always been in my life, and ultimately why I love it so much. I think I probably talked about this topic before, but I just want to, not make anything fancy. There might be some, silly humor here and there like I like to do in most of my videos. But it's just time to sit and chat once again, It's just a casual commentary. So yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to take the leap and start making Hogs of War content. It wasn't the main focus at that point in the channel's development, but it was something I wanted to do. But the editing and the way that the videos were, it was just gameplay, commentary, video end, and there was nothing really else to that. And it was only when I sat down, I remember I was at work, I sat down and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make detailed, in-depth Hogs of War content that no one has actually made yet. And I just kind of went on from there. And Hogs of War has always been ever present, which sounds a bit religious, I know, but it's always a game that I know I have there kind of in my stack of games that I love very much. And it pains me whenever I look back at my old videos that are on the PC version, because I slate it so much today. I mean, you've seen that I've made the before you buy, the PC version of the game, I slate it left, right and center because it's so broken. But at the time, it was the main way that I could play the game because I was on Windows 7, because it works, and yeah, I don't know, it really pains me whenever I look back at my old videos, and any other videos that have PC footage in them, they basically go against what it is I'm trying to achieve with getting the knowledge out there that you can play the PlayStation version on your PC through an emulator. But I don't want to enlist those videos because I know that there are those of you out there that enjoy the PC version and enjoy that content. But for me, it is kind of painful. But you can see it's taken me nearly 5 years to get to this point where, I'm making consistent Hogs of War content. And I've had a lot of people that have mentioned, the idea of burnout and whether or not I could continue to make Hogs of War content and not get bored and move on to something else. But for those of you that don't know, I do have the second channel where I chuck up, other games that I play. So it's nice having that there as some other creative outlet. But yeah, I don't know, Hogs of War is just constantly growing in the community, in the content that we're producing. Modding is really taking off now, and that's something that I was trying to do like a year ago, but couldn't really get anywhere because, again, I was really just stuck with the PC version. But being able to mod the PlayStation version is so huge. Reheated, Open Hogs of War, the card game, the miniatures game. There is a lot going for us this year in 2020. The fact that 20 years after the game came out, we now have so many avenues that the community can go down and, be involved in. We had Rank Up, of course, that was our own community event. And yeah, just trying to kickstart so many things all at once. In essence, if you combine all of these projects together, if you combine it with the fact that we have a solid fan base, we have a solid community that is still growing, you can essentially extend the life of Hogs of War for the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, if you compare it to a game that is dying right now, where their player numbers are plummeting, and it's just not the game that it once was, Hogs of War doesn't really have that. Because the game is so old, older players can still come back and be like, oh yeah, I remember this game, nostalgia, come back and play it. And new players will discover it, both through the card game, miniatures, editors, modding. There's just so many aspects that I've talked about before and I've waffled on about before, but it's so true. Over the past 4 or 5 months, Hogs of War has actually received some publicity from some sources that should probably check their facts beforehand. But it's still surprising to me that game journalists haven't really picked up on the Reheated project, or in fact the community as a whole. I've been trying to shout from the rooftops recently to get everyone on the internet to know that this community exists, that we're trying to make something, that we're here. If people want to talk to us, if people want to contact us, if people want to get involved with the community. So why do I love Hogs of War so much? Well, it's given me an area of my life to pour most of my creative energy into, given that of time, of effort, of building things, creating new things, making friends, and being a part of a community that has a really bright future, whether it be because of the people within it, or just the fact that we have so many things going on all at once. There's just a long way to go, but Hogs of War is 20 years old now, and that doesn't really mean that it's going to slow down anytime soon. I've probably said it before, but this is just the beginning in terms of our community, in terms of the things that we can do and achieve, and I am hella excited. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video that doesn't really make much sense. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and of course I'm going to go back to making content for you guys. Plenty of stuff coming up, lots to do, lots to see. Hope you can stick around and subscribe, and I will catch you guys later for the next one.
Destination going. I'm going. There's destination going.